Talk to me about Chester Ross.
Chester Ross was a very, very good man, a good trainer. He didn't get the recognition he should have got, but he was very good. Excellent horseman. You could learn a lot from Chester Ross. I was a little kid at that time hanging around Chester Ross barn, but it was a whole bunch of old guys in there, and they used to send me out to the liquor store to get I think he drank Dewards, I'm not sure. But he was a good person. And when he passed away, he had an owner named Seymour Cohen. Seymour Cohen took care of everything with the funeral, and the funeral procession went through Belmont Racetrack. It started from the front gate to the back to the pony track and then came back out. I think that was very, very nice, and that shows you what type of person Chester Ross was for the owner to do that. The owner was Seymour Cohen, and he everybody saluted the casket, the hearse, when it went past. Alan Jerkens, all of us, we stood there and we gave Chester a salute. Very nice man. It was very touching and very nice. And Seymour Cohen, he said I had to do that for Chester because he was a good man. So, and Pat Reynolds tells some good stories.
You know what I want to know, right? I want to know about Chester Ross.
Chester Ross, there wasn't a whole lot of black trainers on the backstretch. Chester Ross was one. He had himself a couple of really good clients. And he was the first man that ever introduced me to Harlem oil. And that's an oil that he would use to flush out their kidneys, freshen up a horse's appetite, keep them going. He'd worm them, and then he used the Harlem oil at the same time. And I probably got 2-3 bottles over it in there right now. And Chester was good. He was a colorful figure. He was friends with Oscar Barrera when Oscar was doing great. Always had the big cigar over there. And Chester was okay. And he claimed a chestnut horse with a big white face, Cannon Shell. That was a good name for him. He ran like a cannon, like he got shot out of a cannon. Cannon Shell was the claimer. He stopped him from bleeding, and he won all kinds of stake races. Chester was one of the ones.
One of the ones.
Because it's all true what Pat Reynolds is saying.
Yeah.
I love looking at it because I reminisce and I remember things Chester Ross did when I was around him and I was a little kid. And he also told me, girl, that gunny sack you got, that's a good thing you got. Alan Jerkens teaching you right.
Show the people the gunny sack.
Here we go with the gunny sack again.
Wow.
Best thing to rub a horse out with.
You keep a gunny sack in your car, huh?
I keep it.
Yeah.
I stay with the gunny sack. I even sent the gunny sack to Jimmy Jerkins over in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
That's how good the gunny sack is.
Wow. Throughout your years on the backside, who's the person that you met, right, that was exceptional with a horse? A person you won't never forget.
Oh my God. I'm going to be honest with you. It was a couple. Let me see. George Gray, Pluto, Boone, Jimmy Harris, Ussies. Listen, it was a lot of excellent grooms. Excellent. And people from South Carolina, I'm not forgetting you. The best grooms, in my opinion, come out of South Carolina. And Danny's brother, Charlie, and it was an excellent groom. Excellent.
And Charlie's still on the backside today?
Yeah, Charlie works for Amos.
Yeah, Tom Amos.
Tom Amos, excellent, excellent. All of those guys out of South Carolina, excellent grooms. And look at the guy who rubbed Secretariat, Shorty, excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, those was the best grooms.
You've been on the track a long time now, and you kind of seen a lot of different grooms come through. What separated the guys from the South from everybody else?
Listen, first of all, they had their own potions. They could put on bandages, nip, tuck, nip, tuck, nip, tuck. And it could be a sloppy track with no pins, and you could go over there, go onto the track, and gallop that horse, even breeze that horse, and the bandages won't move. What groom that can do that?
With no pins?
No pins.
Wow.
Pepper red, nip, tuck, told me get on that horse and take out there, girl. The horse ran off with me in the slop all the way around and knew when to pull up, but the bandages didn't move. And then you got Pluto, who's exceptional. He could do anything with a horse.
Yeah. You still love the game today as you did as a kid?
I will always love it, horses. I don't dream about people.
Dream about horses?
Yeah, I dream about horses.
Wow. Pluto just walked that $4 million.
Thank you.
That $1 million horse in the ring.
He had the $1 million horse over at the cells when the cells started.
$4 million.
Excellent, exception. They had their own remedies. They knew when a horse was sick, when a horse was good, when a horse was in the middle. They just knew everything. They was just excellent people. I mean, listen, first name should have been horse first. and then Pluto second because he was exceptional. Listen, they take their time. They know the horse from his ear to his toe. They could tell you when the horse is not feeling good, when he happy, when he gonna win. Those guys was just excellent grooms, excellent, and I miss them all. Everything today is fast, and not really knowing the horse, and that's just how it is. Some things got to change, some for the good, some for the bad, like Alan Jerkens said. But those old time grooms, especially the ones from South Carolina, in my opinion, was the best horseman I ever been around.
Right. Alan Jerkens, like, what's one of your favorite moments with him?
Let me see. Every day was a good moment with Alan Jerkens, number one. But the best moment, I would say, when he won the race. He won a big stake race, and a horse broke down in the race. And Alan Jerkens, they were interviewing him, and he started crying in the interview. And he said, everyone talks about the winner. Except what about the ones that don't make it back? I think that was exceptional for a horseman to say. It was a lot of excellent moments with Alan Jerkens. Excellent. It's too many to name. It's just so many. He was, in my opinion, the best trainer. And what it is, he cared about the horses and his health. He was just excellent.
You know, talk about the human side of Alan.
Down in Gulfstream about 25 years ago, Alan Jerkens used to stop at the 7-Eleven all the time. All the hobos would be there waiting for Alan Jerkens, because they just waited for Alan Jerkens. Alan Jerkens would feed them all the time. Who's going to stop? What Hall of Fame trainer going to stop and feed all the hobos sitting in front of 7-Eleven?
Wow.
You know, that he just was exceptional, and he would help anybody. He didn't care who it was. He would help anyone. As long as you was willing to work, he would help you. He just was an amazing man. He cared about the people. He cared about the horses. Some trainers, they just only focused on the horses and later for the help, but he was all around. And one more thing I have to say about Alan Jerkens. He wouldn't ask you to do something he wouldn't do. When we was out there in the snow on horses, he was right there with us on the pony. That's what type of man he was.
He's a frontline trainer. Huh?
That's right.
On the front
and
line.
never missed a day.
Never missed a day.
Never missed a day.
Wow.
And he knew every horse from stall 1 to stall 50. He knew every horse. So now, you know,
Wow.
he just was great. And I miss you, Alan Jerkens. I miss you.
You know.
I miss him. Wow. Excellent man.